Welcome, everyone, to another episode of the Fist on Chin show on the Chaotic Sports Network. This is another news short where Afsheen Hayat, my co-host, and me, Chris Sarda, hop on immediately when we hear some interesting news that we think we have a good take on and that we want to discuss with you guys in the comments. So follow us at Chaotic Sports and at Fist on Chin. Fist on Chin is our MMA and combat sports-focused Twitter feed, and then Afsheen is on Afman, Amazing, where he is laying down his insights, and we're having open conversations that you could come in right in there on Twitter too. So today the news is that Juliana Peña appeared on Ariel Helwani's interview show, which is now on ESPNMMA, and it was an entertaining interview to say the least. Ariel Helwani told us as much in his tweet. The tweet was done well enough that I clicked on the video. So maybe we should just start arguing and fighting on YouTube. Afsheen will talk about that. But I clicked on the video, and I have to say, Juliana Peña is very entertaining. She had a ton of things to say about Amanda Nunes. She was like that on The Ultimate Fighter. One of the few Ultimate Fighter seasons I watched was her, the one that she was featured in and won. So in other videos, we both, I think, agreed that it was time for a different fight to happen. But Juliana Peña took out the big guns here, WWE style. What do you think about the interview and her arguments?
Sure. She laid out her case that was made over the weekend, but she laid it out now directly, saying that she should be up next for Amanda Nunes. Yeah, she's won one fight in a row after coming off the Jermaine Durandamy loss, which was a competitive fight. So it little bit speaks to the lack of depth at the top of the division. But the reality is that they've been trying to put her in positions to get this fight for a long time, and either she's been out because she had a kid, or she had a knee injury, or untimely loss here and there. So ultimately, it's now her time. She wants it on May 8th so she can keep her regularly scheduled date. And I think that if they keep it on May 8th, and I think the UFC will push to have Amanda Nunes take that date. I don't know if she'll take it, but I think that it adds another element into it, which means she'd have to turn around in 8 weeks after a tough camp and lose 10 pounds. Not undoable, but as you know, these fighters like to take time off between fights. So it should be pretty interesting to see how it develops.
So after what Dana White mentioned that it was probably going to be Peña, but after what Dana White said in this WWE style call out, do you think Amanda Nunes is the fight to make, or you started to lean Shevchenko in our last conversation about this weight division?
Yeah, you're right about it. And giving it a little bit deeper thought, I would much rather push back the Shevchenko fight and give Nunes a viable contender. Would I like to see Peña have a little bit more momentum and show me a little bit more? Yeah. But there are elements to her style, and timing is everything. So it could be more competitive, perhaps. It might not be as competitive, but I want to see it.
I have two, I'm being pushed and pulled on two different levels here. I think Juliana Peña did a great job with this interview. It actually made me excited for the fight. It made the fight, if this fight gets put together, it made it a little bit more than Amanda Nunes is the co-main event. She's going to run over the fighter and move on. The other side of it it touches on what you already said, is that this sort of shows the lack of depth in the division, which is unfortunate because we actually don't know how good Amanda Nunes is. What Peña was right, like Amanda Nunes and Khabib shouldn't be talked about in the same sentence.
That's right.
Like 155 and the people that Khabib fought and beat, especially compared to the way those fighters fought each other, is at another level. Khabib's in the argument for greatest
all time.
Yeah, to get to the championship, where Amanda Nunes is tearing up people. But I would like to see Juliana Peña have a little bit more momentum. She's got all the excuses in the world, and she's not giving them. I'm just saying, when you look at it, she's not giving them, but I can give her some excuses. Having the baby, she was out for a long time and that knee surgery.
Yeah.
The fight with Miranda May was competitive. I don't know how you could just talk about how great you are on the ground and grappling when Miranda May subbed you, though.
Yeah.
So there's problems. On the other hand, you're letting Nunes fight people like Megan Anderson at 145, whose record looks very similar recently to Juliana Peña's. So I have problems with the fight. I'm excited for it because the way Pena talked, I mean, that's the WWE fan in me from the early 90s or whatever as a child. But man, I think Amanda Pena is the person that could possibly beat Amanda Nunes. I just don't know the May 8th Juliana Pena. She lost a lot of development because of these injuries and because of her pregnancy and whatnot. And I still see the person, the ultimate fighter person that has all of the potential in the world, just hasn't reached it yet. I think it might be too early.
For Pena?
Yeah, I think it still feels too early for me.
It could be. So just a quick dissection of her last fight against Sarah McMahon in January. She was getting taken down pretty easily. I think Amanda Nunes has really good takedowns, good enough to, if she wants to be on top of Pena on the ground, she'll put her there. But I think partially due to McMahon being 40 years old, Pena eventually took over the grappling. I mean, I actually, it was one of those rare fights where I had the bottom person winning, but fair enough. If it's not substantial, then I think I had McMahon winning the first round and Pena winning the second from her back. And then the third one, she was like, all right, I'm just going to put this girl on her back. And she got that takedown, which was a big deal. I think that if she's relentless with her takedowns on Nunes, then she might be able to wear her out. This isn't going to be a fight that Juliana Pena is going to win easily. It's going to have to be ugly, and she's going to have to take damage. But if she's relentless, she always comes in good shape. I think this might be her best chance. She's about 31. She looks to be physically in her prime. Would I like to see her get a little bit more, show a little bit more with the stand-up and mixing it together and have some dominant performances at the top? Absolutely. So I agree with you there. But maybe she's trying to capitalize on timing.
I think she is, and I mean, there's the other part of me too. The third part, I guess I have a balance with three little bags to it. The other part is that you get what you get in that division. Like that's who's there. I'd rather see the Shevchenko fight too, and not in May. If it happened the way I think would be even best for Pena is that she gets someone else, tears them up. Hopefully someone she hasn't fought, maybe Miranda May again. I don't know.
Maybe Pennington.
Yeah, something like that. She gets another fight. We get the Shevchenko fight again is what I would want to happen like in the summer sometime. I think Nunes would try to avoid that one too, to be honest. And then we really see what's going on there, because I do think Amanda Nunes is better than she was in this. I think her last Shevchenko fight, whether you think she won or lost, I think that made her better. I mean, it's since that fight she's become disgustingly dominant.
Yeah.
But hey, if it happens, it happens. If we get Nunes versus Pena on May 8th, I'm still tuning in, still going to be excited for it. And definitely Nunes has made this a lot more than Pena has made this a lot more than another Amanda Nunes is the GOAT. She tears everyone up conversation. It gives us something else to talk about.
Yeah, definitely. I think that a lot of her opponents, Pennington was one of them, Megan Anderson was one of them, they come in a bit scared. And I think that if Pena is scared, she's not showing it. That could be a front, but good. That's what you need. If you're going to beat the champ in any division, you can't be staring at them in awe. You have to show up ready to treat them like every other opponent you've beaten. And I'm intrigued by it. I've always been bullish on Pena. Even in some of her fights that she lost, I still was, expecting her to have a better showing. But I think, even if this fight happens now, I could see a rematch happening like a year or two down the line if Pena shows that she's a little bit too green. I don't think she's going anywhere.
Yeah, me either, unless she gets injured again. Okay, let's wrap it up there. Juliana Pena gives a great call out to makes it exciting to Amanda Nunes. We'll see if Amanda Nunes bites on it. You heard what me and Afsheen think. Let us know what you think down in the comments below. Too early, too soon? Should she wait? Do we want Shevchenko? There's actually a conversation happening at 35 in the women's division. Thank you guys for watching. My name's Chris Sarda. This is Afsheen Hayat from his car. That's how dedicated he is. Find us at Chaotic Sports, at Fist on Chin, and at AFMan, AFamazing, all on Twitter. Talk to us about MMA, and on Chaotic Sports, talk to us about other sports. Thank you very much, Afsheen. I will talk to you soon, actually tonight.
Thanks,
so
okay. See you guys.